Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
You could be driving.
Honda has won more U.S. News and World Report awards than any other brand in the last decade. And now you can add another one to the list, being named the best car brand of 2022. Come get your Honda today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you and yours. We start today's show with Louisiana news under the heading, It's Happened Again. In recent memory, you would have to be, I don't know, a vegetable. You would have to be an uncaring, unfeeling idiot. Or you would have to be totally and completely disconnected from concern about your fellow human beings, and particularly for children, as we have witnessed over and over with alarming frequency, babies, toddlers being murdered in South Louisiana. Just a few moments ago, I'm talking with my dear friend and floor producer extraordinaire, Marty, and I am ashamed to say that I've lost track of the number of babies, not because I'm not concerned, but because it is happening so frequently. Not long ago, 4-year-old murdered after being forced to drink alcohol to the point of being 8 times the legal limit for an adult. Few days ago, a 3-year-old shot and killed inside a home in the French Quarter. Not long ago, a 3-year-old killed by a stray bullet when a drive-by happened at a house next door. And of course, this past summer, another toddler murdered outside an apartment complex swimming pool. So this morning, I awakened, started scouring the various news sources that typically I do on a daily basis, and it's happened again. This is reading from News 2, the ABC affiliate WBRZ Channel 2 here in Baton Rouge. Opelousas Police Chief Martin McClendon told news outlets a 46-year-old man died at the scene of the shooting. A 4-year-old girl shot, dying later at an area hospital. In addition, 3 other children were shot. One of those, a 16-year-old, grazed by a bullet while in a nearby home, the injury described as minor. A 17-month-old girl hospitalized with serious injuries, and a 7-year-old boy hospitalized, fortunately, thank you God, listed in stable condition. According to law enforcement, officers were called Tuesday night after a report of a fight between 2 women. When officers arrived, the fight appeared over, but they were called back hours later when 2 men became involved in the dispute, which had escalated to multiple rounds being fired into an apartment unit where the victims were found. Three children wounded, a 4-year-old girl killed, and a 40-plus-year-old man, 46-year-old, killed as well. The degree of frequency that this is happening is scary beyond belief. But you know, if you're like me, you have to wonder, where is our state's leadership on this? When is the last time you remember Governor John Bel Edwards holding a press conference to announce whatever measures are going to be instituted to curb this horrendous trend that we're seeing? When's the last time you remember all the members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus standing on the steps of the Capitol or in a conference room or whatever, denouncing this, calling on the governor to institute whatever needs to be instituted to curb this problem? My friends, we're talking 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and we are sending our prayers out on behalf of this 17-month-old child in serious condition. Of course, now, you also have to wonder how much of this is a learned behavior. For example, right here in EBR yesterday, McKinley High School, what arguably, based on what we know, should have been a relatively minor incident. 2 girls end up with a dispute at basketball practice. And of course, with everybody having cell phones these days, by the time school let out, students had already called parents to let them know about the fight between these 2 females on the campus of McKinley High School. The parents show up, and you know what happened after that. The parents start brawling, and they're doing this right in front of the kids, and of course, the kids are not going to stand there and let you hit my mama. So now they're involved in the brawl along with the parents. At last report, over a dozen officers, squad cars, responded to the incident because it was too much for the school resource officer to handle alone. When the parents show up at the school and start brawling in front of the children, what is the message? What's the lesson we're teaching our kids? Now listen, y'all, I get it. You can see I'm old. School. But I immediately thought, what would have been my late father, Sarge's response had the school called him and said, Sergeant Buggs, we need to show you this video because your son Clarence was involved in a brawl with X amount of other students and some parents on school grounds. God bless him. I can hear as clear as a bell in the back of my mind right now what my late father would have said. Son, your job when you go to school is to learn. That is the only job you have. You don't go to school to fight. The only reason you have to fight is if someone tries to stop you from going to school to get an education. Not only that, but my late father would have emphasized, son, when you leave this house and set foot on that school campus, you are not just representing yourself, you are representing our family and our good name. And for you to get there brawling in the dirt, oh my God, there would be no Clarence Buggs show today, or I'd probably have to do it standing up, because there is some part of my anatomy that would have been entirely too sore to sit down. And yet, these parents brawling in the dirt. And now we wonder why our children are out of control? Governor John Bell Edwards, you allegedly care about the people of this state. And as any politician, and that's what he is, I get that. I don't have a problem with that. But at the end of the day, your job is to lead. And the fact of the matter is, if I cannot, as a person who resides in the community of people most affected by this, if I cannot remember ever you holding a press conference along with the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus to say enough's enough and we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, we're not putting up with this crap anymore, then that tells you everything you need to know. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Sadly, God knows I hope I'm wrong. I hope with every fiber of my being that I'm wrong. I would be the first to happily admit it. But my gut tells me, and I have learned over time to trust my gut. This 4-year-old child murdered in Opelousas is not going to be the last child that this happens to. And even more sad, God only knows what society was robbed of. Who's to say the 3-year-old, 4-year-old, murdered after being forced to drink half a fifth of whiskey. Or this child, a 4-year-old. Who's to say these children were not going to cure cancer? Who's to say these children were not going to come up with some way to remove salt from the water of the oceans to provide cheap drinking water to the entire underdeveloped world? Who's to say what we missed out on because some idiot decided they couldn't handle a dispute without killing innocent children? I just have to wonder, y'all, because I make it known every opportunity available to me that this is disgusting. It's horrific. It is uncivilized. It's freaking barbaric. And I've just got to wonder how many others, other than myself, feel this way, and why aren't we demanding better? The sad, inconvenient answer to that question, inconvenient, forgive me. The inconvenient answer is we've gotten used to it, and it's no longer that big a deal. Our deepest condolences to this family in Opelousas, and our prayers are with the 3 children for a speedy recovery. First break of today's show. We'll get it done. Come back and talk more with you. Right where you've got it on today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-30, named an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Perfect for the journey ahead.
Start your journey in a new Mazda CX-30. Right here at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. If you're just joining us, first of all, shame on you. Where you been all day? Just kidding. You might be watching a replay on YouTube or something at your own convenience. I understand. Just kidding. But in the first segment, we talked about the fact that it has happened yet again. Another toddler in South Louisiana murdered. And I mentioned maybe a week or so ago how there is a move afoot in our state, and it's gaining some momentum. Whether or not it goes anywhere, only time will tell. But this move would reverse earlier legislation that was signed into law that will lower the age from 17 to 16 for individuals accused of violent crime to be charged as an adult. The rationale when the age was raised was, I'm tempted to say, usual liberal logic. But I have to understand that there may have been some merit to the argument that if we can keep these young people out of the adult corrections system, there's a possibility they won't be involved in recidivism. They won't go back and do the same thing all over again. So while the intent may have been noble initially, as is typically the case, and I've learned this through my years on this planet, people will take advantage of you. Oh, say it ain't so. You mean people will let you pass a law and then they'll figure out a way to use it to their advantage? Oh my God, what is the world coming to? Oh yeah, it's true, y'all. Have you noticed recently the number of juveniles involved in horrific crimes? If you've not noticed, you're not a news person. Either that or you can't read. Well, you can't use that excuse because you can turn on Channel 2, Channel 9, 33, 44. They'll do the reading for you. All you got to do is listen. And you will see. For example, 2 people arrested recently, a 28-year-old and a 16-year-old. After, in West Baton Rouge, 28-year-old Robert Baker III allegedly pulls a gun on someone. So what does this guy do after pulling a gun on someone? Knowing the police are going to be called, he jumps into the getaway vehicle, driven through multiple parishes with law enforcement in hot pursuit, and the driver is what? Ding, 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 a 16-year-old. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind, and there may be a little bit of a deviance here, being a juvenile, they don't release the name. So we don't know if the juvenile is related, the 16-year-old, to the 28-year-old. But the first thing I would want to know is what the, insert expletive of your choice here, what the heck is a 28-year-old doing riding around with a 16-year-old? I don't get that. Unless, of course, you are planning to do something and you need an accomplice, But you want to be sure they're below a certain age, so if we get caught, only minimal punishment will be handed out. Listen, y'all know me. You have listened over time. You've watched over time. You know your buddy Clarence is as conservative as they come. And you know your buddy Clarence is a strong proponent of small government. Government, stay the hell out of my pocket. Stay out of my bedroom. Stay out of my life. Let me handle that. I will do whatever is necessary to get a favorable outcome legally without the government's help. But I got to be honest with y'all. It has bothered me for a while and continues to do so, that when individuals are involved in crimes of this nature, I don't care if they're 16, I don't care if they're 13, if they live in the neighborhood next to me or the street I live on, I want to know their names because I want to know who's living around me. I want to know who my children may come in contact with, accidentally say the wrong thing or have it misinterpreted, and now instead of planning graduation, I'm planning a freaking funeral. Put the names out there. Of course, now, maybe this is the old guy in me. My initial response is, there was a time in this country where just the mere prospect of having your name published in conjunction with criminal activity was enough to make you think twice. Oh man, I really want to do such and such with so and so, but if I get caught, they're going to put my name in the paper. All of our neighbors are going to know about it. All my classmates are going to know about it. I will never, ever live this down. I will have to spend the rest of my life trying to prove to people that I've learned the lesson and I'm not the miscreant today that I was back then. But obviously, now it's a different day. There's no concern. There's no embarrassment. There's no, what is it going to say about my family name? As a matter of fact, in many circles, it is 180 degrees opposite. Well, that's just street cred. Oh, bruh, I hear you just got out of jail. Yeah, man. Really? Now, you could make the argument, as erroneous and stupid as it would be, you could make the argument that in today's society, this is what we've become. Well, if you feel that way, let me ask you this simple question. How is that working out for us? How's it working out for us? You know, it would be a different thing if we didn't have a barometer. No, not the weather forecasting tool. If we didn't have a level that we could look back on and say, we used to do things differently regarding this particular issue, and it was completely under control. We used to deal with things like this, Joe Biden and the southern border. We used to deal with things this way, and it was under control. But for whatever reason, progressives, liberals, we changed. And how is that working out for us? You don't have to be Einstein, y'all. You don't have to be the brightest bulb in the chandelier. Heck, you could be the lamp that's not even plugged into the wall and you could see this. It doesn't take... And you know what's amazing to me? People that subscribe to that way of thinking liberals / progressives. People that subscribe to that way of thinking. Many of them don't see a problem with it. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that it doesn't affect them. You know, all these people running around talking about bail reform. All these people running around talking about defund the police. All these people running around talking about Black Lives Matter. They don't have anybody in their immediate circle of influence that's been victimized. See, they don't live in the hood where we need the po-po. White people, that's police. That's street slang. The po-po. White people in the restaurant right now going, we heard it. We heard it. I laugh, y'all, to keep from crying. Because the numbers are what the numbers are. And for all you BLM folks, for all you defund the police folk, for all you, well, there's no crime problem in America. Explain to me, if you will, how last year, 9,870 some odd black people were murdered in this country. It's an increase, by the way, of close to 3,000 in 1 year. And yet, they will have you believe white supremacists are the people you need to worry about. 10,000 for all intents and purposes. Where's Joe Biden on this? Where's Kamala Harris? Where's Nancy Pelosi? Where's Raphael Warnock? Where's all these folk that are so quick to throw racism, white supremacy? Where are they, and why are they so conspicuously quiet about this? When you figure that out, and it ain't that hard to do, sorry, English teachers, I didn't give y'all the heads up. It ain't that hard to do. When you figure it out, it'll tell you everything you need to know. Bottom of the hour break. Let me get this out of the way. Today and tonight, there are going to be instantly a number of multi-millionaires in this country. The problem is, according to one guy, it's anti-American. We'll talk about that when we come back on today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. Sit tight.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Driver assistance technology comes standard on every Camry model as part of Toyota Safety Sense, setting the standard for safety every time you're on the road, no matter the destination. Save on your Camry today at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Freej Jr., and I am a general dentist at Freej Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you are fortunate enough in life to enjoy whatever degree of longevity, you are supposed to learn things. My late father, God bless him, was fond of the saying, a man should learn something new every day. That way, the brain, the mind remains active. But additionally, you expand your horizons and you develop the ability to look at things in more than through just one single lens. My late father, God bless him, I have more and greater appreciation every day for him. He not only taught all of his children that a man should learn, and of course in the case of my sister, a woman should learn something new every day. But he also taught us, when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Stop digging. Because all you're going to do is succeed in making the hole deeper. Have you noticed in recent memory, with the advent of the whole woke culture ravaging this country, how so many of us have now divorced ourselves from professional sports and particularly sports networks, ESPN. This past weekend, and again, if you've watched me, listened to me for any amount of time, you know for over 25 years, I was the biggest NASCAR fan on the planet. Until they went woke. Last weekend was a weekend I have not missed in over 25 years. Talladega. If you know anything about stock car racing, about NASCAR, you know about Talladega and the big one. I can't remember. One day I'm just flipping through the channels and I come up on the big one. As it happened, it was either Talladega or Daytona. And I'm saying to myself at the time, I'm seeing all these cars crashing and flipping and turning upside down and flames and smoke everywhere. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I just watched 10 people die on live TV. And of course, after the smoke cleared, all of the window nets came down, sign that driver's okay. After watching the big one at Talladega, I said, oh my God, I got to find out more about this. This is crazy. That set the hook in me and refused to let me go until NASCAR just kept digging. The hole wasn't deep enough. They had to keep digging. Now, the same holds true for ESPN. Have you noticed how many millions of people no longer want anything to do with ESPN? Well, here's maybe one reason why. I mentioned at the end of the last segment, today, there are going to be, maybe more so than any other day of the year, there's going to be people that will, like that, become multi-millionaires. How? Well, they're going to get drafted in the NFL. Today's draft day. There will be young men today that will make more money than you and I can begin to imagine to play a game. Who was it? Oh, man. Help me out, Marty. Don't know, don't care. Got it. Who was it that had the famous quote, there are only 3 sports: bullfighting, mountain climbing, and automobile racing. Everything else is just a game. And it's true. I want to say Steinbeck, but it wasn't Steinbeck. Oh, man, it'll come to me later. There are only 3 sports: bullfighting, mountaineering or mountain climbing, and automobile racing. Everything else is just a game. Football is just a game. Baseball is just a game. Basketball is just a game. Strap your butt in that 3,000-pound automobile at 220 miles an hour in a curve with 30-some degree banking where you can lose your life in a heartbeat. That's not a game. Now, that's a real sport, but I digress. Adam Schefter, probably only this much better known on ESPN than their quote-unquote NFL draft expert, Mike Florio. Mike Florio recently wrote a book. And in the book, he says the following about the NFL draft. Quote, the NFL draft reflects anti-American values. It restrains movement and flexibility and the inherent realities of self-determination. It forces men, not long removed from being boys, to move to places they otherwise would never choose to live, often hundreds, if not thousands of miles from the places they'd prefer to start their professional lives. He goes on to say, there is no industry other than professional sports where someone who enters a workforce cannot pick where they're going to live, cannot pick who they're going to work for, cannot pick who they're going to work with. They just have to submit. The players are brainwashed. The fans are brainwashed. We just accept that's the way it is. If this guy got it this wrong on something as elementary as the draft, what else does he get wrong? Let me tell y'all something. I'm a Louisiana boy, through and through. Don't be surprised if I cut myself and etouffee comes running out my veins. All my relatives, if you cut them, community dark roast comes running out their veins. I'm as Louisiana boy as you will ever find. But let me tell you something. Let a company call me today and say, Mr. Bugs, we love what you're doing. We want to offer you $10 million. Sold. So where's the company? Where will I be broadcasting from? We're located in Timbuktu. Okay, hang on. Let me call the airline and find out when the next plane for Timbuktu is leaving. Can you believe this clown? Well, this is un-American. Paying people tens of hundreds of millions of dollars and they can't work in the city they want to work in. First of all, Mr. Florio, with the kind of money these young men are going to make, you're lying. You can live where you want to live. You can buy a jet and live way over here. And they won't care as long as you are in pads and on the field when it's time to practice. As long as you meet the team at the airport to catch the team flight to the next game, they don't care. But it's anti-American. So you know the only question that remains now? Since Mike Florio says the NFL draft is anti-American, and since Colin Kaepernick informed us that the NFL is akin to slavery, why in the world would anybody want to watch professional football? I mean, it's anti-American. It's the equivalent of slavery. Get it? ESPN, I'm going to do you a big favor, because obviously you haven't heard about this yet. When you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Stop digging. And I don't know, I guess since this guy has a book out, he's hoping the incendiary remarks will make us all want to run out and buy the book and increase his personal wealth. But you know, again, this is akin to me to Jeopardy and their commercial about this is the highest earning female in the history of our show. But it's a dude. This is a guy. Now, this is a show that prides itself. They pride themselves on knowledge. They pride themselves on information and facts. And if you can't figure out the difference between a male and a female, what else have you gotten wrong over the years? Before I believe someone tells me Einstein's theory of relativity is such and such, if you can't figure out the difference between a man and a woman, why in God's name should I take your information about anything else? The NFL draft is anti-American. Colin Kaepernick says the NFL is the modern-day equivalent of slavery. When you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on it, and take one last jab at the liberals before we leave. That's next as we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Mandafine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. That's why I love my audience. They are so smart. Not much gets by them. Treasured Diner informed me seconds ago. The quote that I knew was erroneously attributed to John Steinbeck, Grapes of Wrath fame, was actually Ernest Hemingway, who said there are only 3 sports: mountaineering, bullfighting, automobile racing. Everything else is just a game. And it's true. It is as true as the day is long. Everything else is just a game. You know, as a man of faith, y'all, a member of the Christian community, I pride myself on not being vengeful, not being one who engages in tit for tat, and not one who relishes watching people get their comeuppance. If you're a member of the community of faith, you know those things are frowned upon by the good Lord above. So we try, and we're human. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't. But we try not to violate those principles. But I got to tell y'all, watching the liberals melt down over Elon Musk buying Twitter has been absolutely hilarious. It has been so funny watching those on the left lose their minds. But it's also troubling, because this reveals to us exactly why the school system has gone out of its way to dumb us down. How in God's name do you rationalize, justify, denying half of this country the right to an opinion and to express that opinion? That is arguably the biggest building block of our entire society. It's what separates us from Russia, from North Korea, from Iran, from Afghanistan. We have that ability. And for all these millions of people to lose their minds over something that has now become the literal equivalent of the town square, Twitter, where all Americans can come and make their voices heard, for them now to lose their minds over the fact that Americans of all persuasions can speak their piece says a lot to us, y'all. And what's more telling here, these are the same people, Twitter, that hid the Hunter Biden laptop story from you. You want to complain about giving people free speech, and you do it in the vein of those who have denied free speech to my fellow Americans. These are the same people that lied to you about Russia collusion. These are the same people that lied to you about Hillary Clinton didn't spy on Donald Trump's campaign. These are the same people that lied to you. Well, the Hunter Biden laptop story, that's Russian disinformation. And these are the people you're going to trust to tell you what should or should not be regulated speech? If you believe that, I have a timeshare on top of a mountain in Bruley, Louisiana, right on the front of the beach, with 16 bedrooms and 34 baths that I'll let you buy real cheap. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 baths. Marty said, sold. But my friends, I still believe in my country. And every day we prove it. Woo, let's see if we can do it real fast. All right, time's up and I got to go, but you already know the drill. This day, maybe more so than any other, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we ain't perfect, but for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, and I know you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon. God bless.